This is going to be a real quick example of how you can use Excel to help manage schedules. I've got a really basic, simple example here. Not obviously not a real job. This is just something I want to use to show the concept of some activities and areas, and I've got a panel for duration. I could show you how you could build this out. Now, obviously, if you have a schedule in Excel already, you can manipulate what's already there. You don't need to create this from scratch. But if you were going to do your own pull schedule based on the specific activities that you have, maybe for your crew or your department, this is how you could go about doing it. So I just put in a finish date right here, and we're going to assume that the very last activity that we have to finish is right here. This is the date that we need it done by. What I'm going to do is click in the final cell, type in equals to do a function, and I'm going to select this B1 cell. What that's going to do is just put the final date right here, and then everything else is going to pull back from this date. The next thing that I want to do is kind of determine some durations that I have for each of these things before I can begin overhead install. So we'll just plug in some numbers, insert the deck as maybe 7 days, deck layout, let's say, let's give it a week. Shop drawings, 14 days, coordination, 30 days, modeling before coordination starts. We'll go ahead and call that 14 days. And then submittals, let's say we've got a week. From here now, what I can do is start putting in a couple formulas. So I'm going to start here and say this cell is going to equal my overhead install date minus, and then I'm going to click this cell right here. One thing that I want to do to make sure that I can use a formula to basically fill the formula without the cells moving around is I need to lock the position of this right here. So what I want to do is I want to lock it to, I can press F4, and the $ in front of the column and row coordinates locks the column and the row. So if I just had a $ in front of G, it would lock the column. If I just had the $ in front of 4, it would lock the row. In this case, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and keep the row dynamic, and I want to keep the column locked. So now what that did is backed my date off 7 days from my overhead install. Now I can hover over the bottom left corner of that cell, and I can stretch to the left click and then stretch to the left, and what you'll notice is it's using the date or the durations up here and subtracting them from the dates that I have to pull the information that I need. So this is actually saying, okay, it's going to be oh, excuse me, looks like I made a mistake there. Let's not lock that reference really quick. Pull that over. Alright, so in this case, I've got H7 minus G4 to get this value right here. This one, I'm looking at G7 minus F4 to get this value right here. From here, I do, and as I go back, it fills in those cells. From here, I do want to make sure that it is locking the row, not the column. There we go. So actually, I could probably do that one time over here to show you an example. So F4, F4. So it's locking the row 4, not the column. And now as I stretch that back, it should be correct. Yes, so notice that this is now lined up with the right column. This is lined up with the right column. Okay. The benefit of doing that is now, if I take this entire row and pull it up, it will fill in those formulas. The one problem that we have, though, is we haven't determined when the overhead install over here, the dates are over here for area 2 and area 1. Now we could do that with a formula, or those might actually be dates depending on how these overlap, but I could also say, you know, this date equals this date right here, or it's some other type of duration based thing. I'm just going to say for now it equals the starting date of the next area. So the day I finish this, I should be starting on this next area. So as a basic example, this is one way that you could do pull scheduling on your own if you had to plan work. Because everything comes from a reference, one benefit is I can change the state here and say, okay, well, we need to be done by February 15th now, and my whole table updates based on this finish date, whatever it is. Or because I'm using these durations right here, I can also change the durations, and it will also change my schedule. So I can come in here and give myself 10 days, 20 days there, 5 days there, 3 days there, and it'll tell me how, or basically my whole table will update for that schedule. I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. The next video I'm going to show you how you can use conditional formatting to highlight your 3-week look-aheads on this.